Everyone. Welcome to my animation work or animation system. Working on my animation system, the action or active action section, part 6. This is taking longer than what I expected because I was expecting for myself doing at least one half the work what I'm doing. I mean, I work around 5 hours a day nowadays, and I'm expecting it to work like 9 hours, 8 hours, but oh well, what to do. Um, Yesterday I was doing really bad. I was like blah, and just to make it better, I couldn't sleep. And today I'm still awake, so yeah. For example, I forgot to start the timer of the 1 hour. So in short, don't expect better performance today. Well, I kept reading about the dictionary and rechanging the default thing, and it seems the problem is really interesting in a way, but I shouldn't waste my time on it in a different way. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep the equal thing, this one at least. Well, I'm not going to depend on it, and actually, I need to change the function. The way I'm going to change the function is by checking the keys if they exist or not one by one, and if they have the same amount of elements. Do you know what? I just came up with this. Just came up with this while I'm talking. So let's just write it down, and instead of wasting this opportunity. Um, so what we are going to do. First, let's deal with this problem. Then I'll tell you what I'm going to do with the general problem of having a dictionary from the last part that using the default get hash code. And unfortunately, let me enlarge the font here. Unfortunately, the get hash code for the hash set and the dictionary are depending on something called hash bucket and not the hash code. And I believe there's a security reason behind that. And it can cause problems if you're using different systems. And I don't want to deal with that. As long as having the hash key depends on the default types like string and data type are safe, then better to use the safe ways. So I'm going to merge the two objects, and actually they were one object. But I was like, hey, I want to be a great programmer, and not using long codes and long objects and stuff, and give each object one purpose in life and stuff like that. I'm trying my best to be better and what to do. But to be honest, if the animation object require the key, which is the end result, to determine which object is this one, we can merge it safely. I mean, there's a one tiny bridge that connect each object, and if it is equal, then it's unique, then it's this object connect to this object. It is one-to-one relationship between the two sets. Why should I just not merge them? So, first action or first logic, if both sets have different amount of element, so So we will return false. We will return false. If the problem is, I'm not sure if the object, because even has sets, from what I understood when I read it last time, read about it, have the same amount of number objects and record in the same order. You cannot guarantee the same order every time. So you don't know where's the index in memory, in other words. So we cannot just oh, by the way, I don't know if the hash set equals work or not, to be honest. I didn't test it, to be honest. But wait, we just done it based on... Yeah, that thing didn't get called. There's something called set equal. I didn't actually test that thing, to be honest. So let me copy this thing and just do Control Z. Oh, I didn't try this sucker. Why don't we just try it before I go way too far? I mean, way too far. How can we test it? I'm sorry about that. I was going to make my own function for the equality, and I just remembered that yesterday while I was reading about this stuff, there was a function, but apparently the stupid thing, the dictionary uses this and it doesn't use this, and I tried to override it with this and it didn't work. And it seems it used both, even if you try to use this. And I didn't want to spend more time in that, to be honest. And look at me, now I'm spending more time about it. So let's take the... This is the first page, the first code ever done in here. And the code in here is not that ordered. So I might take my time. Where's the view code thing? To figure out how did I order this thing. So give me a second. Oh, good. So we can make two active action object. And let's call it a new hash set. I'm not sure how can I open a new hash set with same element. Will be this acceptable. So let's take a look on how to make an object of hash set. Oh wow, this guy is saving two. So you can do that as anonymous, as you put it in Java, the way in Java you call it anonymous, by opening a new hash set, then you give the values, and that's what I was trying to do in here. Oh wait, maybe that was the problem, not this. Oh yeah, actually it worked. So I gave it a in here, and God, as a variable instead of. Let me just leave a message. So we are testing something and we got ourselves the first problem. Um, Unhandled exception of type system invalid cast exception. Mm, holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. It seems I cannot cast it like that. Um, so let's do this and add this as unimplemented. Oh, he doesn't ask for it. Thank you. So A and B is false, even though the elements are the same. So let me check that out once again. So here, that is a hash, is an active action, and it has three elements, A, B, C. And this one has three elements, A, B, C. And yet, he says they are unequal. So apparently there's a problem. I don't know if you see the font in here or not, but it says false. Apparently this thing is not working as the way we are expected. I don't know if it is based on reference, but it shouldn't, because equals is equals is used to compare between the two objects. So what we are going to do is to try to write our own equal function. Uh-oh. I fear we need to go back and do the things again. Alright. So, the first thing that we need to check. See? 14 minutes wasted on absolutely nothing. No, that's not true. That's the point. Now, I'm sure that equals is not working the way that I want. That is not a waste. You need to keep a positive mind. Am I telling myself that? Oh well. No, seriously, I made that on purpose when I said I was going to say waste of time to show trying to be the wise guy who's giving the wisdom to the others. Unfortunately, sometimes I wish if I talk more about the basic stuff. I used to teach some of the Arabic students in university. They come for help, not teaching them as a certificated master, instructor, whatever. But they come to help, and usually I go to more basic stuff because unfortunately, a lot of programmers, Arabic ones, they are studying the master, they graduated from masters, and they totally absent from the most basic things. So for example in here, I messed up a huge thing and said false by itself. Like, I don't know what does that mean. I'm false, I'm happy with that. And why we need to say return false in here instead of this. And why this is still not happy, because we don't have all the cases. If this case is not true, then the program doesn't know what to do and he must return a value. So you either return else, return true, which is the most basic way that we can actually do it in a different way by returning this um, inverted. So returning actually the double equal. But you see, I don't want to spend time on that. This is not an educational channel. That's why I didn't mark it as educational. It's just showing people me working as some kind of narcissistic behavior or something. Oh, look at me, I'm working. Look at me, I'm the only one who's working. No, the reason behind the whole channel, to be honest, to help myself, to count the time and tell the world, hey, I have work to do, so I feel that someone was watching me, I guess. And it motivates me, maybe someone will have some time, a good time. Maybe someone can learn something. Maybe someone see, I don't know how programmers works, how it's look like. But to be honest, I'm the worst example. A lot of people will say that. And to be honest, I don't care. If you're a programmer, don't worry about how other people look at you. They can advise you, they can tell you to do some stuff better or faster or in a more productive way, but don't let them judge you. We are better than you because we don't like your code. That's and unfortunately, our world in the computer science field is full with these people. They think they are the only one who could program computer before. Like no one have made assembly, no one have made assemblies actually. No one have worked on the benchmarks things and the cars and nobody just accept them. They are the only smart people in the world. And let's focus on the code. I should open two channels, one for my yapping and one for the work, I guess. But the problem is, I don't want to. I should focus only on the work, to be honest. So what other cases do we have? As I said, we can define or we can just return to, and we are going to do a double n or n square big O function, some kind of very linear search. Um, and hopefully we can get it a little bit better, but I don't care about the betterness of things. I wonder if there is a way to sort the thing. Again, what does sort mean? I mean, think about it. There's a hash. Can we turn it into a sorted list, for example? Actually, we can turn it into a list and then sort it and make the double search. And we could do that as an idea to see if this is fast or not. But let's be honest in here. How many times am I going to use this sucker? Not that much. Because actually I'm not even going to use it for the dictionary. I'm doing that for other purposes actually for now. I just want to have the option to see if the dictionary is unique or not. So, and we are not going to have that many checks, hopefully. I mean, even if it is a 100 check in the computer world, that's not huge. So, I know 1 second is much bigger than 1 millisecond and much bigger than 5 milliseconds, but yeah. So, we will try to make it a little bit faster. For each, let's start with this one. Active action AR, okay, and what am I saying? String is in active action AR. If that active action AR exists, contains s return false. Of course, we need to invert that, and that's it. I believe this is quite fast, even though it's in square. And it might be, but I'm not sure. I don't know how the C# is built. If I turn it into a list, and if it is a huge fucker, so, oh my god, I don't need to say that word. Sorry about that. And it is a huge list, a very, very huge list. And the list might be faster, but I don't know how these guys built these things. Usually, they optimize it. And they know how to do some of the tricks and optimize it, and they have been working on this for many years on the assembly level. Yeah, to be honest, I was dragging my leg to stay awake and work because I couldn't sleep yesterday. And now I'm full with caffeine and quite hungry, and I'm just trying to do some of the work. So I'm going to keep this as it is. There might be a way to use it with Lambda, or what do you call it, Limbo. Limbo, no, not Limbo. With Lambda, in other words, to make it faster. I forgot the name, dang it. And I used it several times. I'm trying to use it more and more. I start to use it for searching and stuff, but I could use it even more. And there might be a way to do it in here. But to be honest, let's work on what I came to work on before the time's out, run out. So in here, oh my god, this is really taking forever. I was expecting myself working on this today, 4 days ago, but I still didn't even touch it. The first thing is we are going to delete this class, unfortunately. And then we are going to use the end result or end state. To be honest, I'm not that comfortable to using the end state because there might be some cases we have more than one combination of keys and we have the same result of the end state. We might, but in here you might ask, why do you need to do that? You never know. You never know. So, and you might have different combination of keys with different combinations of equipments, and you get the same result of animation. So let's keep our options open, and I will change this into a string, and because I'm going to use it as the name of the whole thing. So let's change everything. Give me a second. Yeah, we have a name in here, and that's good. Um, we can use it to add the name here. Then what's the problem here? Ah, yes, yes. So we will add the name both on the objects and the dictionary. And I already have this a lot. And I feel it's some kind of duplication problem. But to be honest with the dictionary, I have the name as the hash key. And you have only the object somehow. And you don't have the hash key, the name. How can you tell what's its name? So kinda it's good, and the same times whenever I save the data, sometimes I save it duplicated, sometimes not, because the code understand this is the same name in the data and in the dictionary, and sometimes I don't, and I need to unify all this crap. Or keep it as it is to make it harder on decoding. I don't know. Um, One of the issues, other issues, if I make the code smart and take the name and put it both on the data and the dictionary name. The problem I face, I'm using a tokenizer to take the data from the file, and when he takes the name once, that's it. He cannot take it twice. So it end up making a lot of variables to take the name and use it as the variable twice to send it to the right position. And yeah, maybe it's easier to save it twice and like let the tokenizer keep doing his work smoothly, you know. So yeah, it's give and take, and there's no right way. Don't ever believe in dogma when you deal with coding or technical stuff. This is the only right way, and everyone else is wrong, as Eli usually say in the same accent. Anyway, if you have that kind of thinking, go study religion or something. They will love you in there. Just support your own sect and stuff. So don't get me wrong. I don't believe religion should be that either. But anyway, if you get the joke. So let's see. Where do we go next? I believe this is the last tip for this page. So if I can finish it in 30 minutes, this page, I'll be so damn grateful. So we need to make the add, and before we add, we need to check if this thing exists or not. So there are two ways to do that. Either to use a function to do that, but to be honest, that function will be used only for one or two dictionaries. Or just do it in this here and here, and I don't know. Should I do a function for it or not? I don't know. So here you can do both tricks and they could both work. But I will use the first one. Let's add a function. I don't know what to call it. Um, does exist in dictionary, is exist in dictionary, dictionary contain, Yeah, let's call dictionary contains. So we need a dictionary, and it is a string active action. Um, uh, and mm, the problem is we haven't made the object yet. So let me think for a second. Um, well, we have the list, the active actions. So we can reuse the list. But the problem is, what if you have the active actions? You don't have the list. So, man, these are a lot of issues. You see, if I'm going to use an active action object, or active condition object, sorry, the whole object that hold the animations and the active action list and everything, then I need to use a clone function too. Why? Because in here I will just type instead of add it, I will just replace it with another active condition, and this active condition I call it whatever, temp active condition, and then give it these variables and make a new object. After I make this object, oh sorry, the object name is active action, sorry. After I make this object, I check it with the dictionary. So I send it to the function. I check it if the dictionary have it or not. After that, then I need to add it here in my system. But here's the problem. It will add a reference. I need to clone it. And yeah. And I might need a clone anyway, to be honest. When things get complicated, I might need a clone sooner or later. So let's make it as is taken active actions, or hashtag, sorry, not active actions, but the hashtag, and then we will make another function that take the object and take its hash set and send it to this function and call it override. Wait, sorry, overload. So this guy, the funny part is will use equals, and that guy will use this guy. So take it easy with me, okay? Wait a second. No, it does contain use equals, which doesn't mean it will only use equals. Silly you. So boolean b is equal to false. Wait a second. If only one equal is true, then b will be true. It exists. If only one key exists, in the dictionary. Yeah. I don't need the boolean. So I'll take the key value, the string, and the active actions, k, and does contain, and actually I don't need these parentheses, and say if this one damn it. Give me a second. Give me a damn second. We need to do some stuff in here. We need to do a lot of stuff in here. Give me a damn second. Oh, actually, I can use the one from the dictionary instead of using the one of the active set. So we can go around this. So v value equals active action set. Oh, come on, don't give me that crap. If it is equal, then it return contains. If it never return equal, not even once, then it never return, it doesn't contain. So, alright. I apologize that the whole code doesn't show on screen because I'm making the font bigger. Now, we want to do another function that uses this function as an overload, but it accepts a type, the active action object. And it returns itself with does contain, and so this function will simply use this function, but sending the hash set of this function to this one and this one, instead of doing the work twice. Do the function and return this value in here and this one return it here. I will do clone later because I didn't finish this class yet. So let's make the check that I'm sorry, I don't feel that. Alright, well, I'm trying my best. I don't know what kind of error messaging I'm going to add. I usually turn something color into red, but I don't know which part should I turn the color red in here. And I forgot to leave this guy with drop down list. Drop down list. I just remember yesterday I said I will change this into drop down list and I forgot. So the user cannot enter names here too. And I need to change several of these like the AP too. Actually the AP, if you enter a name, uh, yeah, I need to change all of them because I remember here. Let me waste some of my time to do that. Anything that, because when I started this system around September last year, I had only 4 tabs and they were very, very simple. And I was planning to do um, most of the code as a hard code in the game engine. And look at that, because this is one of the oldest pages, I didn't have the names yet that I'm using now. So actually, instead of saying creature or weapon, I just call them AP, animated particle, because they might contain even more than creatures and weapons. AP is defined for any objects that live in the map, or actually that's changed as well. Any objects that showed on a screen and have animations related. So it's called AP, animation related. Why it's changed? It's not any objects living in the map, because actually the objects that living in the map pointing to these objects, they called prototypes or creature objects or weapon objects, but they have a general name, prototype, because these guys have only the data for their own states, like the animation state, which state they are on. It might be saved in there. The combination of actions that result to the state saved in there, but the results and everything is saved in here on the AP. So I can make games that contain a huge amount number of units without screwing up with the game. Because if I'm going to save all the data of the animation and everything, um, it will be sad. It will be really sad. Especially you're deleting and adding these 8 data, spawning the objects over and over on the memory. This page is not finalized. This thing is not finalized. I'm not sure how I'm going to finalize it. What kind of oh, this page is totally whack now. Yes, when I started the system, it was simple, elegant, and not that useful. And a lot of problems generated after it gets a little bit more complicated. Like the animated particle that's pointed to this page is different than this page, and I was using the same one. So if you go from this page and this page and didn't reselect it, oh my golly. He will use the last one from here, but he applied the values in here, and you can guess. Actually, I wasted more than a month trying to readjusting the viewer. Oh my god, I redesigned the whole thing a few times. It was a headache. And it's still a headache, and I'm not happy with it. Yes, I still don't have a preview how the whole thing is working, what is working so far. Because I'm trying to finish this part first, and I don't know if I should force myself too much and break down and burn out. Or should I just flippy floppy and at the end of we should have worked more. It's kind of hard to balance sometimes. Look at me complaining while I'm doing one of the most savage work ever. And the order is so screwed up in here. So screwed up. I mean, there's no symbol order for these things. I wish if it was similar. I was building it from top down view. I was like, what's the highest thing that we need to organize the whole data? What's the lowest thing? And usually the user go the last before first. Once again, this is called AP. I was going to work on this like a few months ago if I didn't invent new stuff in the animation. And I was going to make the menu and the prototype for the game actually. And I gave false hope to my game designer, I guess. I apologize for that. Um, this page will be part of another page. Attack and fire are both can considered actions. And this one, God help me. God help me. I need to change already existed system to a different thing just to support different size and different bullet detection to make the game more live. So let's go back to our issue in here. So we need to check if this thing, the set of active actions are unique or not. And if they are, then we add the stuff. If not, we just return. So this is a timber action. We have a problem. We have a problem. This is not static. And we have no object. What can we do? What can we do? We so screwed. Not really, this is actually static. And this one is also static. And I'm so stupid. Static shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Oh wow, the system have a class called JC. I need to knock this out. I have an abbreviation in some of the code as game core, as JC, as a pointer to game core temporary game. Or depends. If it is the actual game, then it's the actual game. Depends on the context. But because we are in the editing mode in this page, or creating a new mod, we're having a temporary object. We are not dealing with the object that the system is using now. So yeah. That's why when I edit my file game and made a lot of crap, and I decided I don't want to save, I was just playing around and see some results. I just click on cancel, and my original file or original object doesn't get screwed up. So I can return to my um, game simulator, which is called Map Simulator in here, but I keep calling it Game Simulator and I don't want to change the name. I don't know why. It can deal with that only. It doesn't deal with the wait a second. No, we are dealing with this creature or this AP, and instead of going and finding the AP that we are selecting, like checking if it's open or whatever, that's why we have the temp AP do all these calculations. Is it 5? The one that's responsible for this page? I believe. Yeah, it is. So this one we take the action condition and then we send this temporary thing. So if it only contains one, return. If not, then it do all the fiasco. But let's send some kind of message to the user by making this fore color into red. Can we do that? Yeah. So this is the action condition list. And then whenever a reinitialize happen, you want to keep it white, or even the AP. Does it call the reinitialize? Yeah, it does. So anything that called the reinitialize will happily change the color white again. We can still leave this as one line. A lot of people hate me when I do that, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's completely changed the way how they see the code and their style, and nothing wrong with that, hating that, and you don't want to see that in your code. But the wrong thing is when they say what you're doing is completely wrong. That's what's wrong. I mean, who are you to say this is wrong? The compiler doesn't complain, and there's no law against it. I mean, so let's try to give a name and have states. Maybe if I click on add, this one get resetted. That will be nice. Because I called this V, let's call this C, and let's call this one X. So let's have the same kind of combination of actions. So this one have XZ, and let's call this AD, and it have a different result, but it have the same combinations of actions, and this is all what it cares about, and it add it like it doesn't exist, like it doesn't give in the shit. I'm sorry. So what went wrong? What went wrong? It might be a very silly problem, and that's why we are here, to debug the whole thing. So it calls this, and this one have two conditions already. and this one have as the active actions, and this one have XZ as the active actions, and this one have XZ. So all of them are XZ. So we will take each values. So we are checking if this one K, which has XZ again against this one, the new one, which has an XZ. And if it does, then it says yes, we contain this value. I believe it used default system. Yep, it used the object equals. Can I override here? Do you know what's the easiest way to solve such a stupid problem? It's to change the function name. I don't care about that thing. Why should I bother? Oopsie. Sorry about that. That's why. Do I need to change the system, the whole function? One of the reason of logic says, why the heck not? So I built a function to accept an active action object in the first place. So instead of checking this, we will just remove this, and we remove this. And it should be the solution of the problem. So let's see how this will work after I fix our issues in here. So this guy was like, why did you call this implementation and you didn't implement me? And I was like, sorry sir, I'll take you out and show you the door. Deleted. I shouldn't take a lot of references, so just alright. So we have different states, and we have different actions, and because I don't like W, so he refused or gave us the red color, and yet he added at the end. It doesn't matter. Like he just, yeah, I don't like that, but let me add it because we didn't move this thing to the other side. So let's move it here. Oh, silly me. And we should have the problem solved. Well, this is the end of the video. I'll take my break for 10 minutes and see you in part 7.